Yeah, I'm 23 today. Yippee me. Do I have my life figured out yet? Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've totally got my life figured out. I'm not totally lost on what to do next. Hey, I know how to drive. I have a job. What? You mean I have to learn how taxes work, live on my own, and have at least a bachelor's degree to be a real adult? Oh my god, I have no idea what I'm doing. So, yeah, I'm 23 today. It's honestly weird being 23. Like, for the first time in 5 years I've been an adult, I actually feel sorta like an adult. And I definitely have some thoughts on it because holy shit, being over 2 decades old is a really weird feeling. Being an adult is weird. I feel like when you're a kid and a teenager, you fantasize about being an adult. You see it as, ooh, I don't have to listen to an adult's rules anymore, and I can eat whatever I want past my bedtime. Ooh, Teletubbies. However, for me, I still watch TV, just sometimes the TV I watch has more adult themes. But besides that, I've realized that while there are some freedoms with being an adult, there's also more responsibility to make the right choices. Like, sure, you can drive with your friends at night to a party, but you also have work in the morning at 7 a.m. sharp, so is it a good idea to drive that late? Or you could go see that rated R movie you wanted to see, but is it a good idea to watch something scary when you need to sleep early for that exam that you have at your large group communications class? Basically, being a young adult is like being a teenager, but instead of your parents not telling you to do something, your sense of judgment does. Perks of being 23. These perks don't only come with being 23, especially since when I'm writing this script, it's a couple weeks before my 23rd birthday. These perks come with being in your 20s in general. Perk number 1, you probably have already done at least one adulting step. Every young adult I've ever met in their 20s has at least done one thing, like getting a driver's license, a job, going to college or a university, refining your skills, or even just living on your own. Something I would like to throw out, though, is to not compare yourself to others. I cannot emphasize this enough. Everyone is learning how to adult in their own way. Perk number 2. You learn that being an adult is not what you thought as a teenager. In a lot of ways, being an adult is just kind of being better with discerning between what's considered appropriate for your age and appropriate for yourself. As a teenager, I thought I would have to go to clubs, party, and do the other stuff that normal college students do. As a 23-year-old now, I realize that I'm not into that stuff. I never had an interest and it overwhelms me. And that's okay. And it doesn't make me any less fun to be around, although it doesn't really fix my social anxiety and awkwardness. Last perk I'll list. Did I really write that down? Last perk I'll list? Okay, well. Perk number 3, or last perk I'll list. You realize that being an adult does not have to change your interests. As a kid and teenager, I always thought I'd have to have adult interests or hobbies, but now as an adult, I could not state how wrong that is. I can still have some of the same interests. It's what makes me who I am. Maybe not entirely who I am, but a portion, you know? The only thing that's changed when it comes to my interests is that I have to be aware of who I might talk to. Since I'm into stuff like video games, comics, cartoons, and pop culture, I sometimes find myself talking to someone younger than me because we have a common interest. Especially since comics, video games, and cartoons are considered children's entertainment. The way I handle it is how I'd talk to a younger coworker, and if the person's parent or family was listening in on the conversation, to keep things appropriate. It's not rocket science. I feel like there's way too many cases of YouTubers not understanding how to keep things appropriate and safe. Speaking of being a YouTuber and 23, I'll speedrun the cons of being 23. Cons of being 23, speedrun. Con number 1. You realize you have no idea what you're doing half the time and feel like a fool. Con number 2, lots of other people feel the same way. Con number 3, pay as a young adult is unsustainable. Economics in the modern day basically means I get paid less in value than my grandparents after World War II. Yippee. Con number 4, time goes by way faster. I legit thought it was an excuse adults made up to not do things, but no, they were totally right, and it's really weird. Like, how am I in 2025? Please take me back to 27, please! Free adulting advice I'd give to anyone. My biggest piece of advice is definitely ask questions. Don't be afraid to walk into the bank and ask the accountant what the difference between savings and checking accounts are. Don't be embarrassed if you are learning how to use your card in different ways. Don't get discouraged if someone shows you how to do something but you need reminders, like with checking the oil in your car, doing laundry, washing dishes, and other things. Everyone is still learning, and that's totally okay. Thank you so much for watching the video. I had a really good time writing it. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more stuff that I make. And if not, I'm glad you stayed to watch the video. Also, especially thank you to my patrons, Jelly Expo and Jamie Kristen. I shout out all of my patrons in every video as it helps me create more videos. Feel free to join in for only $2 a month. You can cancel anytime. And here's a sneak peek at my next video that will be up next month on Valentine's Day, 3 p.m. PST. Hope to see you all there. Take care and stay safe. Swag.